Okay, I'm back. I've eaten. And now it's time to finish off working on this submarine of mine. But what is this missing again exactly? No holes found in the submarine. The hull determines the borders of an individual room and are required for air and water and air distribution to work correctly. I don't know what the fuck that means. What, is it just unhappy about the fact that some of these areas don't have this? Generate waypoints, no holes found. Motherfucker, it's right here!
E said okay.
Fucking vid startled me then. Oh, vid. Apparently, this ship doesn't count as a ship because it's missing hull. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it won't let me playtest it. Or do anything at all for that matter.
E said here I think the game determines the center point of the submarine. E said based on the hull instead of based on the hitbox.
Hmm? Okay.
E said so it doesn't know where to spawn in the map. E said same with characters.
Wouldn't that be shells though? Or is there like a flipping hole in it or something?
E said shells are structures.
Then what the fuck counts as hull then? These?
E said nope, the hull counts as hull. E said search the bar and go to hull.
Oh. Yeah, I need to set it manually. I was expecting it to be something. This gap will do nothing because of both sides of the gap. You're screaming at me, why?
E said enable gaps and hulls. E said the door doesn't stop water since it's not divvying any rooms.
Oh, do I need to do this all manually? I can't just go over the entire bloody thing. Right.
E said well you can have the entire sub be one room. For comedic effect.
No, I don't want to see those flipping things screaming at me whilst we're working on it, so I'll just do this all slowly but surely. Oh, for fuck's sake, that's in the wrong position. You talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it.
E said also I think the doorways count as outside the submarine, so you'll just explode when you go through them due to the 1 pixel gap.
Oh, so do I need to go over each door as well?
E said also gaps let you invisibly link both. E said yeah, they have to be flush. E said no gaps.
Got ya. So does that just mean I could make a random room that has no reason to be gone in?
E said same with top
normally?
bottom. Basically, like borders.
Okay,
E
so
said yeah.
and just have a flipping kill room for lols.
E said you can also make ductwork and funny things.
Is the game going to have any problems with it being slightly outside of the
E
hull?
said yep, that's correct. E said not really.
Okay, good, because I can't be asked trying to do fiddling around with that. So, considering everything with this ship so far, how much of a nightmare do you think it will be to actually use it?
E said if you wanted to fiddle you'd basically just use something called a gap, which is how you link multi-hull rooms together. E said no clue. Well, it lacks storage or fabrication, but then again it is a starter.
Exactly. Actually, no, it does have crafting. It's got general crafting. Doesn't have medical, though. Fuck me.
E said oh, didn't notice you added some since last stream.
Okay, and so now does this work?
E said here lights may be suggested. E said yep. E
Look at that.
said cough in these nuts.
Ow. Ow. Oh, you said a... Oh, do I need to wire... Oh, right. I need to wire everything to everything. Hallelujah. Why is this not interactable? That's not good.
E said oh yeah, you need engine go and reactor make BRR. E said and soup capacitor.
Insufficient power. Insufficient power. Using it failed. Okay, I suppose that light, that general wiring is next. Although maybe I should do lighting first. Actually.
E said here lights are good.
There's only one option for lights? Oh dear. Try and hide them then.
E said you must use lamps.
Light tower?
E said usually one per room suffice.
Okay, then noted. Only one. Game, I'm trying to place a light.
E, said those are for indicator lights.
Oh, got ya. Oh, I thought you would have been...
E, said
funny.
like those funny space shuttle control panels I always turn the helm into.
Got ya. Game, I'm pressing Control V, Z. You can get rid of the fucking thing. Thank you.
E, said right here direct from the lamp, right here for your very much wish fulfillment.
I don't know what the exact term for these lights are. I've seen them once or twice in real life. I don't know what they're actually called, though.
Said phenomenal cosmic powers. Itty bitty living space. E, said caged lights. I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's going to be difficult to interact with, actually. Good news, more stuff to lamp onto this bloody engine design I'm trying to come up with. Oh, no. Too far back.
E, said yeah. Decorations aside, you'll also probably want some lockers and cabinets.
Well, we had some of those already. It's got fucking wheels, it is.
E, said we really don't. E, said those compartments in the engine room hold like one item.
These ones?
E, said oh yeah, you can see inventory with. E, said wiring mode and pressing E.
Oh, fucking hell. I thought those had a lot more storage. Well, they're actually based on how much... Okay, so that's just
E,
useless.
said yeah, the thing you're thinking of is called. E, said medical cabinet. E, said I think.
What are the name of the other storage compartments then?
E, said our lockers, secure lockers, medical cabinet.
Are you sure? There's only these ones.
E, said yeah, I gave you names of multiple things.
Steel cabinets, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I wanted to put in here, but I couldn't find a bloody thing.
E, said yeah, those are generally for armory, or they also work good as small tool cabinets when set to unlocked. E, said I like turning them 90 degrees and using them as drawers in engineering.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. It looks like it's got a vice on it. Oh, to hell with it. Let's put one of these right on the front as well.
Said searchlights are neat. Not really that useful since you can never zoom the camera out far enough to actually see outside the ship.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I got it the wrong way around. Okay, what's the button again? I've forgotten. Oh, it was spacebar. Yeah, which button is it to connect them again?
Said I think because they aren't swappable hardpoints there's no way to link a searchlight.
Well, how the hell do you use a searchlight then?
Said only to command them. Said you connect the periscope to it.
Yeah, how do I connect the periscope to it? I've forgotten how to connect this periscope.
Said wire mode.
Recall it.
Said and then do the periscope output.
Trigger out. Position out.
Said yeah, both of those.
Both of them?
Said to the searchlight's position and trigger. Said yellow is usually used for turrets. Said or for command console. Said the convention originally came from the old submarines in the Alpha.
Toggle state? And the same for... like that?
Said you'll notice that the labels say what it's wired to. Said when open.
Oh yeah.
Said yeah, swap the other one so it's on position. Said on the lamp.
What does that mean, on position? Or did I just do what you meant? So this? Alien wire?
Said searchlight position to periscope position. Said you accidentally. Said cross-wired them both to the same thing.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do that, sorry.
Said on the searchlight. Said yeah, eradicate that white wire. Said and then. Said take the other one off the first input and put it on.
Like that.
E said yeah.
King hell key. Read.
E said the names are the same.
If I told somebody that English was the only flipping thing I
E said now that works.
passed properly, people would not believe me with how fucking terribly I perform. Okay, do I need to do the same for all of these, or does it work without fiddling around? Like,
E said oh yeah, turrets are the same.
oh, so I do need to. Oh, great.
E said yeah, position and trigger. E said and power to supercapacitor.
Do I need to connect the thing to what the power out, presumably?
E said supercapacitor.
Power
E
in.
said yeah.
Yeah, fucking. So is there junctions that allow me to send multiple of the same thing through
E
one
said
wire?
red is usually for electricity. E said yeah, junction boxes have a.
Oh, yeah.
E said data line.
So then, red
E
for
said in addition to electricity.
power out.
E said yeah, red is usually power.
Power. What? Can I only do it like this?
E said you need to connect the other junction.
Oh, I thought I did. Why is there another wire now? Oh. How do I can...
E said yeah, junctions are bust. They don't have a input output. E said all their pins just share the same continuous signal.
Hey, Control Z, why aren't you working?
E said you have to deselect. E said the thing you're editing.
I'm trying.
E said exit wire mode.
Okay. Okay. This
E said I think you're in wire mode. E said you can press delete when the wire is selected to delete it, I think also.
Okay, no.
E said also dragging it off its inputs works as well.
Oh yeah, good point. Okay, let's try again. Hopefully without the flipping thing just randomly creating a second wire. There we go.
E said oh, you can right click to get rid of a turn. E said likewise you can also add new turns in an existing wire. E said power to power.
So do I need to do power value out and then put it to power here?
E said the red one. E said inputs can have multiple slots.
It wasn't allowing me to... Okay, so you just
E
randomly
said
change the rule,
up to
do you?
5 actually.
Randomly change the rule? Oh no, I can't do power
E
out.
said junction box. E said, and then repeat that on the third one. E said, oh yeah, forgot you had batteries.
Yeah, is there anything in particular I want those connected to, or just anything in particular?
E said you might want to charge them from the reactor.
But I can't have more than one wire going out.
E said, I'll dedicate the first junction.
Well,
E said, to the batteries. E said, and then have the batteries output to junctions 2 and 3. E said you can also use a relay component to do the same thing.
Gentlemen, what's this wire here doing? Why have we just randomly...
said being disconnected.
Yeah, to delete them? Oh, we need to yank them out.
E
Okay.
said take him out of the window.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me just flipping make sure I'm reading this correctly. Then have the batteries output to...
E said in game that would normally put a wire into your inventory.
Yeah, I know. Okay, red wire to junction power.
E said yeah, reactor to junction 1, junction 1 to battery input. E said the battery output to junction 2. E said and junction 2 to junction 3.
And I also have them connected to the to engines as well. Junction 2? Junction 1, sorry.
E said you can run engines off battery.
Okay. The battery output to... This
E said you could also charge the supercapacitor with junction 1.
Can I have them... Keep, stop forgetting
E
how the game
said
works.
it's just Factorio without belts.
Oh, I'm fucked then.
E said but yeah, it can be messy. E said to figure out what is connecting where. E said the labels help somewhat.
I can't invite Inactive to join us to watch this because he's streaming at the moment, but imagine what he would be thinking if he saw what I'm doing at the moment, considering what challenge I suggested to him last time we were doing this.
E said what was the challenge?
Him trying to do this with both of us trying to give him a hand.
E said barotrauma, but if the wiring is bad the video ends.
Yeah, quite literally, this feels like keep talking and nobody explodes. Speaking of, at some point, I fucking need to do that with either you or someone else at some point. I've been wanting to do that for fucking years. Okay then, so... Engines to powerbank 1?
E said yeah.
Then
Guess
can
so.
I... Mm-hmm. Hang on, what's the difference between charge and power?
E said if you're referring to what I think you're referring to. One is a percentage and one is a kilowatt value.
No, the... Why is it randomly decided to start making me interact with that? Oh,
E
randomly
said
unequip
battery
the...
charger.
I've just randomly started...
E
unequip the
said or oxygen
screwdriver.
thing.
I just somehow managed to undetach bloody... Ah.
E said yeah, it used to be called character mode.
Okay, can I just... Wire
E
them all
said you can
together?
also interact with containers and things.
Oh yeah.
E said the output probably. E said yeah. E said also the reactor needs fuel.
Oh, and it didn't have any fuel in it by standard.
E said yeah, just find a fuel rod and toss it. E said later on. E said once you're ready to test the electrics.
Note to self: next time you design a sub, make sure that each flipping coil gun has its own junction box.
E said yeah, you need more junctions sometimes.
Alas, I don't really have the space for them on this one. Oh well, just chalk it up to rookie error.
E said actually it used to be more common in some old vanilla subs and in community subs.
What, a dedicated junction box for every weapon system?
E said it's personal preference, but some designers basically like junctions room. E said versus spread out junctions.
Did I really use orange for power towards the guns? Great. Probably going to forget what the point of them is soon. Oh shit, I forgot to do a power in for this one. Whoops.
E said so some people prefer one junction per room, while others prefer a central junction location that connects to each room.
Oh no. I accidentally set it to power out instead of in.
E said fabricator.
Power in, power out.
E said you could for instance put a junction either corner of the cargo room.
Oh yeah.
E said top left of the bottom room.
There we go, that's that all connected. Oh Jesus, this is already turning into Charlotte's web of disaster and fucking pain.
E said yeah. You can add a new kink to a wire without deleting it and replacing it. E said so you can push the wires up into the ducting.
I should have done that this entire time.
E said I think you shift left click or something.
No, I think if it's what I think it is, it's just, for instance.
E said well that thing you called a bug 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. What the fuck do you mean it's been 30 minutes already?
E said you can do that without deleting it also.
Huh? What do you mean it's already been an hour? Half
E
an hour?
said by just adding a new node to an existing wire.
So, for instance, with lights, I can do this. That's the wrong colour. Okay, try again. The right colour wire.
E said I'm pretty sure it's CRTL left click or shift left click on an existing wire to add a new path node to it.
Nope, it's neither of those. I think shift, yeah, just helps you keep it in a straight line.
E said you're making a new wire. E said not selecting an existing gone.
Oh, fucking, I missed that bit.
E said yep. E said and deleting a node likewise will delete it. E said that way you don't have to rewire all of the other stuff you just did. E said you can just drag new nodes onto them to organize it. E said yep, that's basically all there is to it.
Okay, so how do the pumps work then? I'm starting to think I'm going to have to start over with this, so I might as well quickly ask. Since I'm definitely going to need more power banks than I have.
E said yeah, maybe add more on the top of engine. E said or in the battery room. E said pumps need power. E said and they also need signal from the nav terminal. E said same with engines.
Noted.
E said y-axis goes to pumps, x-axis goes to the engine.
Well, that works, I think. Okay, I think I need to delete all of these fucking wires I've placed down and just start over. And hopefully do something a bit more bloody clean.
E said yeah, ripping them out of the junctions will be fastest. E said maybe lose one of the batteries for an extra junction, or just put junctions below them.
Yeah, well, I've got 6 now, junctions wise. Don't think I need to restart everything there. Okay. 4. Power out.
E said there's also a trick to use relays instead of junctions to power the ship's lighting, since it only uses a low voltage. E said, my personal design convention is to use black wires for the low voltage circuit.
I don't know what that was, that's just going to confuse me to no end. Let's try this again. Okay, there we go. Okay then.
E said the Passant for example only has one battery and 2 junctions. It has a lot fewer well engines and pumps for one. E said and again no fabrication.
To be honest, I was just scraping the bottom of the barrel for things to put in this section, so that's why I ended up going for this. Now I realise I probably should have just gone for storage.
E said yeah. Makes sense, although now there's not really any storage.
Okay, sod it, we'll just get rid of these bloody things then.
E said using crates in fabrication is sort of annoying. Sure.
Also, I think we'll move these shelves a bit closer together actually.
E said yeah, I was gonna mention that as well. E said you could make enough room for a locker or 2. E said if you want to keep fabrication you could just slap a junction in the corner.
Nah. Let's keep it simple. Okay, so
E
does this
said
want its
also
own
there's this
junction box?
fancy ass new thing called a distributor that just got added, not sure what it does yet.
Since we have like what? 1, 2, 4, 5 ballast things. And then the engines as well.
E said here 1 junction for ballast pumps.
I might just hide it behind the bloody
E
crates.
said 1 for engines. said you'll need one for supercapacitors.
I'll be honest, I think I prefer the old way design for the junction box. Okay, no, that's not going to work. Okay, just pop it right there.
E, said and then, oxygen generator and utilities.
Yeah, utility, oxygen generator's got
said
its own power
lighting.
bank.
E, said and then airlock suit chargers and pumps. E, said speaking of you'll need a pump. E, said well or you could just duct it, but I usually only duct dry rooms and I keep airlock self-powered. E, said for contingency.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this one will be for lighting.
E, said you may want to move the top junctions down one grid square also.
Why?
They're kinda in the roof.
Oh, are they liable to be damaged back easily?
E, said they are also liable to be stuck in the ceiling.
Okay, is that good enough?
E, said yep that works.
Okay, so do the doors... Actually no, the doors don't need powered by default. Don't think. Velocity X out is for pumps.
E, said yeah they just take buttons so you can remote control them.
Net force?
E, said yeah. E, said force. E, said pump is Y output to pump level.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure in case I was getting it wrong. Wrong one. At the bloody power.
E, said that's condition out.
Thank you. Okay, so those are just need power now, so
E, said that output lights up if the engine is broken. E, said like if you wanted to make a HUD showing engine destroyed. E, said before those existed, I used to detect whether or not there was wiring faults by measuring the voltage drop.
okay, that's all of them batteried up.
E, said the old version one of the Marauder had a diagnostics system like that.
So then, what do we need to do to give the pumps automated dredging? Set target level?
E. Said You need ducts in the floor, they work the same as hatches but they only let water in. E. Said yeah, target level. E. Said from nav terminal. E. Said also did you forget pumps in the back?
Yes, I did. I will get on that in a moment.
E. Said okay.
Is Brown the right call for this one?
E. Said orange is usually for periscopes, engines, and ballast pumps.
Okay then. God, this looks so confusing. Hang on, are these all going to be visible in game?
E. Said brown doesn't have any pre-established color associated with it, just like black or green. E.
Why is it all
said yeah.
brown in here all
Unless
of a
you make
sudden?
them invisible. E. Said aphotic planes. The biome you're in the test mode.
Okay, let's do the thing of uranium. Yeah, let's try this again.
E. Said I use brown for reactor emergency override codes, and I like to use green for serialized data bus. E. Said the only vanilla color codes are though.
Why the bloody hell did that better not think to turn the power on?
E. Said no fuel. Or E. Said oh. E. Said it is on but the lights aren't connected.
Okay, let's see if we can at least move.
E. Said change to engineer.
Warning insufficient power.
E. Said and equip your funny goggles. E. Said oh he doesn't have funny goggles, carry on. E. Said select the junctions and E. Said see what they have.
They got
E.
nothing.
Said for their voltage.
What the fuck? They should have power.
E. Said did you forget to wire one of them to the reactor?
No, they've all got power going in.
E. Said oh you didn't, okay.
This one didn't have power for some reason.
E. Said check the batter outside of wire mode. E. Said make sure it's set to charge, it might be 0 by default. E. Said press E I think. E. Said like it's a container. E. Said yeah. E. Said that might work now. E. Said otherwise something's wrong with the junction setup. said that's a good sign.
That isn't. Well, we have some amount
E,
of power,
said yep,
but
it's working.
it seems to be
E,
insufficient.
said still no lights though.
Oh, fucking. Why are we... do
E,
we have
said
so
check
little
reactor power. E, said how it's not the reactor limit.
Do we have so little...
E,
few
said check
kilowatts?
batteries. Did you remember to set the other two to charge as well?
Yes, they're at full power. It should have more than enough power at this rate, shouldn't it?
E, said weird, those should be taking 2k each. E, said yeah.
You have failed us, electrician.
E, said it should be 6,000 not 500.
Okay then, sure.
E, said armaments.
You've given us a reactor with zero power!
E, said also life support is offline.
Yeah, because we don't have any fucking power. It's wired up, I swear it. Oh, wow. Okay then, what the fuck
E,
is
said
wrong?
it was working a little bit at first.
It was working for a second, and then the fucking charge rate was
E, said check the battery wiring.
Why did I not set it to have power to begin with? Is everything just taking too much
E,
power?
said oh the battery is wired to the other battery.
I thought that was what I was supposed to do. Does that cause it to fucking fuck itself?
E, said oh yeah, you are only getting one battery worth of output.
Yeah. Could have sworn you told me to do that though. I must have misinterpreted. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, that's a little bit better.
E, said wire them in parallel so all three are charging from junction 1 and then all three of them output into junction 2. E, said here much faster charging. E, said should stabilize and start outputting power.
Hey Mass, if you're watching this stream, this is what awaits you if you continue with this flipping challenge idea I proposed to you.
E, said has Mass literally touched the sub-editor at all?
I think he mentioned looking at it for like 2 minutes and then deciding, no! If memory recalls, that's what he said. Yeah, he's tried for 2 minutes and then gave up. So, do you think we're going to need a lot more power banks? Well, that's concerning. That's the one behind power. guess I'll have to wire this one to something, these two to this one then in the middle. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's not right. How the fuck is that enough power for this fucking thing? Hey, that sounded disgusting. Fuck's sake, I didn't even realise. I was flipping on massive, so I didn't hear anything you said. You fucking idiot. Was it? I thought I fixed that. Take. I think it would be an idea for me to just abandon the idea of this having cargo space and just put a load of fucking things down here.
E said well for one reduce the reactor's output to like 8K.
Right,
E said that's a station reactor.
I didn't realise the station reactor and the normal
E
reactor had
said you
different
can just
stats.
edit its stats so.
Oh,
E said it has the same as a small one.
8,000 is it?
E said here 8K is normal. E said for some scouts it's even further nerfed to like 6K. E said if you want to do that. E said and then we can set our battery charge rates on each to 2K.
There we go, that's better. Let's try
E
it now.
said and set max output to like 2K as well.
Max output 2K.
E said on the
Reactor.
E said battery. E said reactor 6K, battery 2K input and output.
6K? I thought you said 8. Or are you just trying
E
to balance
said
it
well
out?
8K for a medium ship.
Oh, got ya. Okay, let's try it now.
E said this tiny thing only needs 6K.
Ow.
E said 8K is the default but vanilla tier 1 ships usually have more like 6K.
Okay, still insufficient power.
E said yeah that third battery is getting sucked. E said by something.
It's only connected to these two items.
E said oxygen generator uses way more.
Okay, guess we'll switch it to the middle one, seeing as that's not being
E
used.
said than any other machine. said engines and pumps are the second most power-hungry things on the shippo. E, said fabricator probably third.
Okay, let's try it again now.
E, said and then everything else uses not very much power at all.
Will be hilarious if that turns out to be a mistake.
E, said yeah, the nav terminal is no longer instantly shutting down.
We can actually move around from the looks of it. Excuse me, I thought I said I wanted to go down, and I just realised there's no ladder here, so I can't get back up.
E, said oh, supercapacitors also use allative. E, said here you need ladders or platforms.
I'm not going to take my chances with that, so... Better to have and not need than need and not have. Okay then, that's good. Although I couldn't help but notice that we weren't able to go down. Although that might have just been me hallucinating, so let's just do a check quickly.
E, said pumps might spawn turned off as well because this game is weird. E, said a status monitor would help.
Okay, no, they were off. On. Sorry. Did I forget to bloody...
E, said oh yeah, you might have never powered them.
Oh.
E, said that would be it.
Actually, it just suddenly dawned on me. Should probably utilize these first instead of using the one which powers all the others. Hello? Hello? Oh, oh, so it's in the fucking reactor?
E, said yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can actually control it, I think.
E, said yeah, it's just taking a while because the batteries are still charging.
Okay. Hang on, does that mean that in its current state, this is just going to crash into any station that we depart from? Do you mean it's basically got a delicate...
E said kind of.
I forgot to put
Normally the
fucking
game
oxygen in
spawns
here.
the ballast tanks at neutral buoyancy.
I forgot to put fucking O2 in the... Whoopsie.
E said so even if the ship is drifting for the first 10 seconds it's usually fine. E said however they're not set up at the moment.
What the f... Is it oxygen?
E said vent. E said Zeus.
I don't know what that fucking noise I just made was.
E said oh yeah you forgot to add ones in the front.
And one here. There we go.
E said you did half the ship and then forgot.
Yeah.
E said don't forget the ladder room. E said it's hidden behind the lamp very convincingly.
Yeah, I've already done that one. And that one. Have I? Oh no, I must have clicked the wrong bloody thing.
E said yeah that one.
Must have just hit the bloody thing by accident. So I can move around. Let's see if we can fire. No. Well, that doesn't work.
E said the lamp and the guns need power.
Oh god damn it! I forgot to. I forgot it.
E said the searchlight can just take regular power. E said the guns need supercapacitors.
I forgot that I just up and got rid of their connections. Whoopsie. Okay, actually no, let's go. Let's do this one, seeing as it's all connected to the same thing. I can't get over how fucking topsy-turvy this looks. Power in. There we go.
E said supercapacitors only output like 20 kilowatts. I'm pretty sure only the first supercarp in the line will actually charge any. E said and then they will charge basically exponentially slower along the line.
Okay, let's go and put a junction box dedicated to these then, quickly. Pop it right there.
E said yeah that's a solution. Especially since there's 4 of them. E said, oh, you don't need 4 supercarps if they're all wired to the same gun.
I thought the purpose of supercapacitors was to make sure you had a lot of power to them.
E said, I thought you were going to fire. E said, 1 supercapacitor to 1 gun each. E said, not all 4 of them to 1 gun.
Why, is it stupid to do that normally? Because to be honest, I just did 4 because that was the
said
perfect
Arcana.
amount for it to fit that area I gave them.
E said, yeah, okay.
So are they going to be just... Well, this is going to be
E
pointless. What
said, I mistook you for having a plan, my bad.
No, I did have a plan, it was an aesthetic plan. And also under the understanding that they all work together to keep it powered. And since it's a small ship, the idea is that only 1 gun at a time would be firing typically.
E said, you could have 2 supercarps. 1 for the front 2 guns and 1 for the rear 2. Or you could have. E said, well, yeah, if you want only 1 gun firing at a time. E said, you can delete 3 of them. E said, and keep all guns linked to 1. E said, otherwise 4 supercarps, 1 for each gun also works.
I can't be asked to put... can't be asked getting...
E said, 4 supercarps for 1 gun though is redundant.
Oh well, planned redundancy. I can't be asked getting rid of them. This thing's probably never going to be released anyway, so this is just me practicing. Okay, can that be? Yes, it can.
E said, well, at least the fact that the first supercarp feeds all the guns. E said, means that the charging issue can be ignored.
Did I not? I just gave it power.
E said, you only wired the guns, not the spotlight.
I thought that was the
E
first thing
said,
I
I
did.
think.
Why do I need to manually set the fucking recharge rate? And why am I bothering to do it here? It's another great question. Holy shit, the guns actually fire!
E said, MHN.
Am I going mad, or is it actually doing something having all of them? I'm certain you can't keep firing without them all running out of power eventually. Okay, I am certain that having them all connected is doing something. Because on your ship, doesn't that typically start running out quite quickly?
E said, no, they buffed supercarps like in 2022.
You mean you need a diving suit?
E said, they redid how they worked entirely now.
Okay then.
E said, also you're overclocking them technically.
Oh, why? Is there only typically a specific flipping amount you need? Fucking want to bloody... I think I'll give you a
E
reason.
said, so they have double power usage.
Oh my god, you're so fast.
E said, and they degrade faster.
Okay then, I'll do it at about 20%, that's all we need. They're really nothing for us to hit. Oh well, let's see how fast it goes forward quickly.
E said, yeah, they can operate at 70% safely.
Any particular reason we've... I shouldn't have connected them to a battery, should I? What do you mean O2 low? Is this thing not fucking powerful enough?
E said, operating at 30% gives improved efficiency.
Any particular reason this is still not...
E said, anything above 70% is drastically increased power usage and degradation. E said, check the oxygen generator. said it might be overrated. E said also maybe those were sucking all the power too. E said I'd bet that thing's using like 4K of power or something.
I'll get you to... Oh? Apparently we're fine in here. Must be finally flipping powering up.
E said oh maybe oxygen and engines are on the same thing.
No, oxygen...
E said so you used all the power.
This one? No, this one. Oh, for fuck's sake, you are correct. It's just there... The thrusters are on a different stage. Oh no.
E said yeah going full throttle drained the batteries completely.
Yeah,
E
but this
said
is
or
the
something
second
did.
battery. This is the first battery, so this... Wait, no, yeah, this should... Oh my god, I want to start
E
over.
said something started using power, and it caused the oxygen thing to turn off. That's all
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, but this power bank shouldn't interfere with this battery, should it? Because they're in... sequence.
E
Why are
said
you so fucking
if that battery charges
thirsty?
from the other one then. E said yeah. E said oxygen generators are notably one of the highest power using components in the game. E said also you. E said you're selecting a wire.
It's only 1,000 fucking power
E
consumption.
said okay it's only 1K.
So this should
E
still be
said the
powering
regular
up.
one is like 4K is absurd.
I think will do.
E said yeah set those to like 50.
50?
Or 70.
Okay. Yeah, 50 will do.
E said 70 if you feel spicy, 50 erring on the side of caution.
Yeah.
E said more or less.
Okay, how much power is this using up?
E
10.
said that uses 1K it seems. E said oh yeah. E said the other stuff uses almost no power.
It's a shuttle oxygen generator. Is that why it's so...
E said yep.
Is that why it's so hungry?
E said maybe add more oxygen but 4K is usually fine.
Let's take a look at what the
E
settings on
said
this.
well the normal oxygen is like.
Okay, no, it's the exact same from the looks of it.
E said oh yeah. E said I guess they changed the default values.
I didn't check how much fucking O2 it actually generates. 50,000. Okay, I think I've figured out the fucking problem.
E said on the vanilla subs they do way different amounts.
Okay, let's test it now.
E said well the oxygen still shuts off once it runs out of power.
Well, it doesn't run out of power, it just struggles to get power. fucking lamps aren't on. Oh, do I need to switch them on?
E said I feel like one of the batteries might be wired wrong. Just a hunch.
But they're wired how you told me to wire them. In parallel. I think. Here's hoping my mate. When you say parallel, you mean
E
each of
said
them...
yeah, but maybe you forgot to charge the third one, I don't know, just make extra sure there.
Yeah, they're fully charged.
E said make sure the junction is set to the correct input.
Also, these guys
E
aren't
said
complaining about not having oxygen, so maybe it's fine.
E said well, those aren't supposed to be flickering. E said and also I don't hear any oxygen.
But they aren't complaining about needing an oxygen tank is what I'm thinking.
E said the vents should be spinning.
Should they? Never noticed them spinning before. Oh.
E
Oh, no.
said it's noticeably quiet.
Oh, we haven't got the O2 thing.
E said the vents make noise, and the oxygen generator is really loud.
Yeah, maybe we just have a load stockpile this time. Power available.
E
Power?
said yeah, all the doors are open, so. E said you've got like a minute or two of air.
Maybe all the problems are amassing just because all of the things are... Oh, there's the O2. Maybe instead of having this one connected to all of the other power banks, maybe I should have one of the others do it.
E said weird, why did they stop charging? E said you said everything is charging fine and then it just suddenly didn't work anymore.
Okay, let's try
E
it this
said
way.
LOL.
Maybe this will work better now. No. There seems to be a problem.
E said the reactor must turn on. E said also yes.
Although it does seem to be a little bit better now, dare I say.
E said okay, for some reason it has a max output of 150.
Ow. Okay, so everything is connected to this one, and this one's only
E
connected
said it's
to
probably
this.
because the batteries weren't set to 2K charge rate. E said also yeah.
Fuck knows why these ones have.
E said it seems to be stabilizing but really slowly.
Well, we'll just wait until we start getting
E
oxygen.
said it's
deprivation.
because they're on the lower voltage supply.
Okay, no, we're still not making enough. You have a fucking dedicated power bank. How do you not have enough fucking power?
E said what's the dedicated power bank looking like?
It was at about 100, I think, compared to this one's like 300 and this one's 150, I'm assuming. God, this is so aggravating.
E said yeah.
Want me to
E
send you
said
the
if the
file
battery
so you can
ISNT
troubleshoot
filing
what's
up.
wrong?
E said that means it's not doing a thing. E said probably, it'll take me like 2 seconds.
Okay, let's
E
see if
said but I wasn't gonna suggest it.
just fucking save it. Open. Okay, where would the file be? That's backup key. That's not what you need.
E, said our Steam local files. E, said and then go to local mods.
Okay. This file type is not. Fuck you!
E, said rename it to a text file. E, said or that works.
I don't know why he randomly gives me a fucking Microsoft Edge file. Huh? Oh, fucking wrong colour. Wires. How much is this taking? 300. 60. Okay, so it's not those. Also, this has no power. Even though it had power. How much are these taking? 5,000, so that's 2,000 in total. Maybe if I
E,
reduce
said
these-
remember how the reactor was outputting 1500 watts. E,
Oh my
said.
fucking word, did I forget?
E, said the batteries are charging too slow. E, said yeah.
I forgot to change the max recharge speed.
E, said set them to 2k recharge speed and it might work now.
Hang on, so does that mean we were supposed to be going much faster and we just weren't taking advantage of more than like 300 megawatts for the engines?
E, said the oxygen generator physically can't turn on, because it's using more than the total output of the reactor.
I thought I fixed that.
E, said the engines don't use a lot of power plus they had a backlog of energy.
Is that in the batteries? Yes, it is. Okay. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I have somebody who actually knows what they're fucking doing when I'm doing stuff like this. It's the same reason I typically prefer having Vid alongside when I'm doing fucking Kerbal Space Program. Oh, hang on, didn't I just... Oh my fucking god, I cut
E, said also there's no pump in the bottom.
Oh yeah. Hang on, didn't I remove the power connectors from this?
E, said the center bottom ballast.
Oh my fucking god, I did and all. I was expecting to have to redo the entirety of the fucking junction thing, so I started removing everything.
E, said well I'll just send you the fixed version.
Or I could just load the previous save, because I haven't resaved it. Is it this one?
E, said yeah either or.
Yeah, it's that one. And finally... Going to be a layout if it turns out it didn't save. Nope, it did. So it's that recharge speed as well, or?
E. Said change speed to 2K as well.
Okay. Ow. Oh, that's the sound of the fucking oxygen pump.
E. Said that's what it's supposed to sound like.
I'm not even
E.
kidding.
Said
for
yeah.
the longest time I thought that was the bilge pump. I'm not fucking with you. I've always thought that was the bilge pumps. Oh, for fuck's sake, Kate. Note to self, do that. Oh, now this works as well. Very good. Okay, then all this needs now is lighting, and then it's ready to set sail.
E. Said now just for the lamps. You can use relay if you want for that since it's low power.
Want to take it for a test drive and a mission quickly? I don't know why, but this one specifically just reminds me of a room wall
E.
animation.
Said yeah if, once you add the missing ballast.
Hang on, shouldn't these already have power? Why did these not light up? Do I need to wire them all to a single switch for them all to light up?
E. Said no clue, I closed the game before I could figure out. E. Said nope, it should be fine.
Okay, so what's wrong with this periscope?
E. Said maybe they're off by default because the devs are coked out of their mind. E. Said, it's because their default state is 0 in the source code.
Okay, is that the correct one? Position in, position. What's orange? Trigger in. Trigger out. Okay, so do I just need to do like a logic thing to set it to on?
E. Said or you can just edit the lamp and set them to active. E. Said I mean unless you really love individual light switches.
Did I forget to put a light in this one?
E. Said some sub-builders bother to add light switches. E. Said yes. E. Said you can see the light preview as well with one of the view modes.
Oh yes. Huzzah! Some of the lights will actually fucking work! Don't think we'll bother with a light there. There's a light
E.
somewhere.
Said you can adjust the range to make them less ugly as well.
I know I got rid of the light here, it seems. I know there's a light. It is on, and then just right there, which is also on. Why is the light not working in here? Did I forget to put one in? Yes, I did.
E said yeah.
I don't know why I decided to fucking eat my tongue then.
E said you can adjust the ranges of the lights so they're a bit better for the room.
Fucking say it's always on. There we go. I think they look fine to me personally. Why do you think they look a bit too garish? Is that the term?
E said for optimization and also aesthetics.
We don't give a shit about our
E
aesthetics.
said you don't need the light range to be 500 meters. E said for a room that's 2 meters wide.
Fucking hell. Okay, yeah, you are correct.
E said here like 200 suffices. E said likewise for the other rooms like 300 and 400 range respectively usually is fine.
Oh no, that's the wrong fucking thing.
E said also it means the light doesn't pour into adjacent rooms as far. E said when the doors open.
Oh, for God's sake, stop doing
E
that.
said you can dick around with color too of course.
Yeah, obviously. Where to put the lights in there? I don't know. There it is.
E said top lights.
Oh, if I do that one more fucking time. Okay then. Kinda makes sense for the medical room to have a stupid amount of light, if you ask me. I've never noticed it having an animation like that. I say that as if I've ever seen this generator before. Cool. Like that. I made this myself.
E said tonight on Top Light, I visit the Millennium Bulb, Hammond tests an industrial photometer, and Jamie unleashes the unmatched power of the sun.
The Millennium Bulb! Okay, let's just see how fast this fucker is. So fast, I think we could ram something and kill it. Until we lose power, of course.
E said 32.
No, the autopilot went on, so it slowed us down. Power! Come on, couple more. Come on. Yes! 40 kilometers per hour in an underwater submarine. And it brakes like no one's business either. Fuck me, that brakes so quick. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about the second... Okay, maybe we do need to worry about the bilge bump.
E said I think maybe that room might be outside the sub. I'm not entirely sure. E said I didn't pay attention.
Oh my fucking god, just get off. How is this broken already? What do you mean over voltage?
E said you forgot a platform I think.
I thought these had platforms on their own. Fuck's sake. Back to the drawing board!
E said also why does the hatch look so weird when it's open?
I don't know.
E said I've never seen that look before. E said the platform is like Super Mario. E said it allows you to go through it.
Yeah, I know.
E said but you don't fall through it.
I don't know why, but when it comes to platforms, I always think of a Flash game called Cactus Jack. I don't know why. Maybe the platforms were just fucking awful in that game.
E said I'm more of a platform racer to enjoyer.
To each their own. Okay, so duct. Do I need to put these in between?
E said make hulls visible for a moment. E said yeah they live in the floor.
Oh, so there needs to be a hole in the floor. Got ya.
E said yep. E said ducks. E said you don't necessarily need a gap. But it's good to have one.
Okay.
E. Said clipping ducts into the walls has no immediate downsides. Unlike hatches which require crew to go through them.
Oh, what, sorry? My crew to go through them. On second floor, we don't need one there.
E. Said you should make a doohickey that turns the top ballast off when the door is opened. E. Said you can do that with a knot gate.
Do that. I'll just set up an IED in the thing, so if there's a floral trap, you can go and blow the damn thing up. Yeah, there's not too much water, and besides, there's a duct right there, so it's fine.
E. Said Key smiling as he adds occupational hazards to his submarine. E.
Yeah,
said the door that fucking kills you with water.
Okay, so it seems I need to add that fucking pump that I didn't plan to. Or I just forgot to.
E. said here and check there's a hull there.
No, there isn't.
E. said with hull visible. E. said here probably just missed one. E. said also is that front ballast has a misclick. E. said the big pump room.
Oh yeah, I just turned this one into...
E. said bottom left has a mislock. E. said stray hull. E. said left of the large pump.
Left? Oh.
E. said yeah.
Oh.
E. said and then yeah a ballast.
Oh yeah, I've bilge pump in a couple of rooms as well.
E. said now for a complicated thing.
No.
E. said you know how to multi-select.
Somewhat.
E. said multi-select all of the ballast tank hulls so they are highlighted white. E. said and then remember the number it says. E. said 0.2502 it looks like.
Get them all? Yeah,
E. said go to nav terminal. E. said and then type that number in under neutral ballast level. E. said the default is 0.5 or something. E. said yeah there it is.
Okay, so 2.5 was it? 2.502.
E. said 0.2502.
Use transducers. Do they have any benefit to using those?
E.
Or?
said that's for wacky goof fuckery.
Okay then. So does that mean it should stay neutrally buoyant and not just immediately
E. said if you
fall?
want to do more wiring.
No.
E. said oh yeah also one more thing.
Yes?
E.
Don't forget
said
to-
select the pumps.
Hang on,
E. said and then under tags. E. said type ballast.
hang on, I'll just fucking connect this one up before I forget.
E. said yeah that too.
Oh, I can't actually do another one.
E said wait, you have 6 ballasts.
Yeah.
E said I didn't even notice. E said okay
Well,
E
he's using
said place a relay.
relay.
E said maybe in the bottom room.
Relay component, like this.
E said yak, just toss that in the bottom room or in the big pump ballast.
Big pump ballistic. Am I wiring all of the relays to that, the pumps to that instead?
E said yeah, relay all the nav terminal pump controls to that.
Okay.
E said all the bottom pumps. E said and then wire the nav terminal to the top pump and the relay. E said that's how you can get more slots for data.
Okay then. Okay, so which one was that? Does it need power as well?
E said relays can carry power as well, but only enough to power things like lamps and basic terminals.
I wish I knew that before. Signal in one?
E said no, relays can output power the same as a junction though. E said yep. E said relays are like mini junctions, and you can turn them on and off using logic wiring.
Cool. So I'll never be able to use those because I
E
don't fucking
said for now
understand.
we're just using them as small signal splitters though. E said yeah. E said you can do the same thing with the lamp power, for instance. E said use one junction box to relay power input to power output 5 lamps.
Okay, and then like this, I think.
E said yep, and double check the relay is on. E said because paranoia.
Yeah, yep, it's on. I'm gonna fucking take a picture of this quickly and just show it to inactive. I said I'm sending a picture of this to inactive.
E said okay lol. E said for a second I thought you asked me something.
Nah.
E said and I was completely fucking absent-minded.
Probably the first time you've ever done that, I think. Okay, so this doesn't immediately flood this time. Joyous day.
E said yeah, the hull is there. E said oh yeah.
Okay, Nymphid, want to give this a
E
test
said
run? Do I
remember
fix
to
the
select the
ladders?
pumps and add. E said ballast.
Yeah. Yeah,
Said sure, I guess you wanna host or send it to me and I'll host a songbox.
I'll host it this time for once. Gives a good idea of how bad my fucking
Said add
internet is
ballast
for
to the
that.
pumps. Said true.
Ballast.
said this does one of two things. For one, it allows the game to know which rooms to spawn full of water on round start.
I'm blind.
E, said, and two, it also secretly allows ballast flora to spawn in those rooms. E, said, under tags. E,
Oh,
said,
fucking
pump,
hell.
ballast. E, said, top. E, said, oh sorry. It's a bit different since I last played. E, said, just put ballast in tags. E, said, all tags used to be under one setting. So it used to be pump, ballast. E, said, but pumps is in its own dialogue now.
Okay, let's
E,
see if that
said, so
works.
yeah, just ballast will suffice.
Okay then. Submarine saved. Waypoints have also been done.
E, said, BRB a second while you do that.
Again, can you stop fucking freak?
E, said, also maybe welding tools would be nice, ideally.
Why did I make that a public server? No, 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 no.
E, said, I remembered we still have a distinct lack of crew containers. E, said, okay, be right back for real this time.
Considering the speed we have, we won't need that nonsense. We'll just run away from them. Ban after incorrect password? Sure. I just fucking looked at Daphne's most recent flipping post on Twitter. She mentioned flipping looking herself up on bloody Google. Daphne the Bard is a VTuber active on platforms like Twitter X, who focuses on TTRPG-themed content including Dungeons and Dragons. She engages with male VTubers and one complete moron of a fucking PNG tuber. I'm gonna do that myself, I think, quickly. Ha 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 ha! Why does that look like a fucking Wraith from Halo if it was meant to be a bloody submersible? Ah yes, that Dugon. Why does this look like it would be the PLP-50 of fucking... of submarines? Winter. Oh god, I just realised something. The next fucking sub I make is going to be something akin to a bloody PLP-50.
E, said Bacco.
Hello.
E, said launching the game again.
Okay. Yeah, I was just looking at some of the other submarines whilst I was waiting for you, Vid. I noticed that one of them genuinely looks like a flipping car that was turned into a...
E, said the Typhon and Humpback are based.
Yeah, the Barsuk just reminds me of an old sedan. I think it's the term. Either that or it reminds me of those bloody
E,
ships
said the
from
Castrol
fucking-
is,
those
sort of like a
boats.
less economical Humpback.
Hmm? Yeah. Actually, no, scratch what I said before. It reminds me of the boats from SpongeBob that they use for cars.
E, said the Orca used to be utterly cursed, and the Remora.
Ah, the classic Dugon. You can't go wrong with
E,
him, can
said but they've been sort of buffed and some of their glaring.
Fuck me, the Remora looks badass. Why does it make me think of fucking Meta Knight's ship?
E,
from
said
Kirby?
unrealistically bad design flaws fixed. E, said yeah it's a cool shape but it has like the worst room layout of any vanilla sub.
Oh, does it?
E, said and a drone that nobody ever uses. E, said that's why nobody uses Remora usually.
I've just fucking looked at the Venture.
E, said yeah that's the ship you salvaged last week.
Oh, was it? Oh, now it does look familiar, yeah. And it looks fucking hilarious.
E, said surprised you remember. Good job.
I vaguely remember it. I remember vaguely that the upper area had those three things and the first aid kit or whatever it's bloody called, for emergency thing. Did you get my invite? Or have you just not been able to join yet?
E, said nope was waiting for it to load.
Me, this looks cool as shit. Oh, the big rig, which is apparently another piece of shit. Whose only flipping saving grace is its massive cargo bay. Oh yeah, it's got 2 weapons, both on the top, so if something gets underneath it, you're just fucked. The looks of it. Oh no, wait a minute, you got a
He
tiny
said what
arm.
happened when Regalis did a community submarine contest once. He said yeah, the hardpoints update saved the big rig. He said it used to only have a backwards facing gun. He said and it wasn't even a flak gun, it was a coil gun originally.
Yeah,
He said yeah, big rig got a lot of buffs.
Oil guns and rail
He
guns.
said it's not Z tier anymore.
What about the Typhoon and its other variant?
He said I said Typhon was okay.
Oh, I meant the Typhoon 2. Anyway.
He said ironically the Typhon 2 is kind of worse than the Typhon 1.
I had this in the wrong one. Fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, it's fucking massive! Okay, take 2. Not used to manually closing doors. What the fuck? Oh my god, I can shoot the fucking... You can just shoot through the fucking hole! Oops. Okay, autopilot, do your thing. Take us towards the objective. Assuming you can take us upward. Go! Why aren't we going up? He's not full of water. This is the up-to-date version, I think. Yeah, it's the up-to-date version. What the fuck? Funny. Oh. Oh, you put a hole in the ceiling, did you? Oh dear. Okay, I forgot to put a ballast in the lower down area. Which one? Oh god, fucking damn it. Oh, for fuck. Okay, we on rising, I don't think still. Oh, no we are. Autopilot engaged. Take us over there. Yeah, I don't know why they're white either. I didn't colour them that, I don't think. Come on, autopilot, this thing can go 40 kilometers an hour. Give it the beans. Not yet. The fuck, there's water in here? Okay, brace for impact. We're gonna see just how fucking fast, how much damage happens if we fucking hit a wall at full speed. Oh, for fuck's sake. I wonder why there is nothing in front of us from the sounds of it. Also, why we aren't hitting our maximum velocity. Oh, that's disappointing. Okay, take us back to APAP City, then AI. Why have you turned this into Darude Sandstorm? So the game gave us free supplies because I didn't put any in. Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. Did you fucking touch that shit? fuck do you use this? Come here. How do you move it, bird? What the fuck? Why did we crash? What the fuck? We crashed for some reason. Did you mess around with the fucking water? Oh, machine pistols. Oh, that's grand. The fire rate's so
He said I may have sabotaged the submarine in the 5 seconds of consciousness I had.
Okay then, so lights need to be fucking fixed for one. And two, I need to put some storage in. But other than that, I'd say it's alright. What do you think? Also, I need to fucking fix the power. Jesus. Well, it works at the very least. It just needs some tweaking, which we can do at the beginning of next stream or whenever it is. But for now, I think it's about time we call it today. Yeah. Take care of it. I'll see you tomorrow, I guess, assuming you're going to tag along for fucking Nier again. Cheers for watching, and goodbye.